Hello, I'm Stephanie. I'm the therapist, and this is my client, Stacy Warren. Today we will be working on cognitive behavioral therapy. Hey, Stacy, how are you?
I'm okay.
How's your week going?
It's kind of stressful.
Okay, well, if you recall last week when we met, I had told you that in today's session, we would be going over what I call the life problem solver. So what that is basically I just have a chart here, and it's kind of just to stimulate and see where your thoughts and all these things are going. So if you want to tell me why your week's been stressful, we can go from there.
Well, I'm interning at a substance abuse place, and I just feel like the other interns know so much more than me.
Okay.
I just feel really, like, out of my league.
So you feel overwhelmed at your internship?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a certain incident or anything that occurred that made you feel overwhelmed?
Just sitting in the morning meetings when other interns would, say something.
Okay, so sitting in meeting at internship,
Mm-hmm.
and would it be okay to say sitting in meeting at internship while watching other interns, or?
Well, other interns were talking, and
Okay.
I couldn't think of anything to contribute.
Okay, interns were, so kind of comparing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when this event occurred, what kind of thoughts did that bring?
I just thought, wow, other interns know so much more than me, and they're so much more experienced.
Okay, so other interns. And when you had this thought, did it make you feel any types of emotion? Like, what did it bring up for you?
Yeah, I felt overwhelmed
Okay.
and sad and depressed.
Overwhelmed, sad, and depressed? And when you felt these emotions, did you notice a change in your behavior?
Yeah, I just kind of stopped trying.
Okay, stop trying. Anything else that you recognized? Okay, and when you stop trying, what kind of consequences does that bring about for you?
Well, I mean, I feel bad for not trying, and my supervisor had asked me why I don't speak up in meetings. And so when other interns got clients, I didn't get one.
Okay, so you didn't get assigned a client. Would you say that's the biggest consequence?
Yeah.
Okay, so didn't get a client assigned. Okay. So now going back to this thought that you're having, that other interns are so much more experienced and they're better than you, I want to ask, is there any evidence to this thought? So, do you have anything that proves that they're better than you?
Well, just that they talk in meetings and I don't.
Okay. So what would you do now if you have someone that's close to you, whether it be a friend, a brother, a sister, anyone that's close to you, and you have a relationship with that, and they came to you and they were all sad and panicky and overwhelmed, and you asked them what's wrong, and they told you the same exact event occurred, and they had the same thought, what would you tell them?
I would probably just tell them that you're an intern and you're not supposed to know everything, and it's okay if somebody else knows a little bit more, but you might know some more in another area of whatever you're doing.
Right, exactly. So that would go to show that there's no evidence that you're not a good internship or new intern or good intern, and that you have no experience and everyone's more experienced than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just jotting down that there's no evidence to this thought. So now what I want to do is the same exact steps, but let's try to do this on the flip side. If the same event occurred, let's challenge this thought. What would be a better way to respond to this event?
Saying that I'm an intern and I'm not supposed to know everything.
Exactly. That you're at your internship to learn, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an intern and I'm not supposed to, right?
Know everything.
Okay. Now when you have this thought, how does that make you feel? What kind of emotions does this way of thinking bring you?
It makes me feel less anxious.
Okay. Anything else for you?
More confident.
Great. More confident. Okay. And when you feel more confident, how's your behavior?
Then I'll start trying again.
Exactly. So you start trying. That's great. And when you try, what are the outcomes? What kind of consequences does trying bring you?
I'll get my own client.
Great, get your own client. Okay, so now looking at this, and you can see the difference in just one thought, the emotions that they brought. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And how does this make you feel this way?
Better.
Better. So if you don't mind, what I want you to do is just say this thought a couple times for me, at least 3 times. So you can read it. You said, I'm an intern and I'm not supposed to know everything. If that's how you want to say it, then say it. If you want to reword it, go for it.
I'm an intern and I'm not supposed to know everything. I'm an intern and I'm not supposed to know everything. I'm an intern and I'm not supposed to know everything.
Great. How do you feel?
Better.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming today, and I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Hey, Stacy. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm so frustrated.
Okay. You want to tell me about what's going on this week?
So I finally got a client.
Okay.
I was using that and I started feeling better, so I started trying again in my internship, and I finally got a client, and I'm never going to succeed.
So
I'm never going to succeed in my internship because I feel just really, really over my head.
Did something happen with your client? Was there an actual event that occurred that made you feel this way?
I had a client who was just really challenging and I didn't know what to say to her.
Okay, so challenging client. And you didn't know what to say?
Yeah.
And what were your immediate thoughts when this event occurred?
I was just like, I'm not cut out for this.
I'm not cut out for this.
Yeah. I'll never succeed in my internship.
Never succeed. Okay, when you had this thought, what kind of emotion did it bring up for you?
I felt defeated.
Defeated? Okay, did you feel anything else?
Depressed and sad.
Depressed and sad again, okay. And just like last week, when you feel defeated, depressed, and sad, what does that do to your behavior?
I missed a couple days of my internship.
Okay, so you missed internship. And when you miss your internship, what are the consequences of that?
Well, if I missed too many days, I could get kicked out of the program. I could get fired from my internship.
Okay, so get fired from internship.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just like we did last week, I'm going to do it again with you. Is there evidence to this thought? I'm not cut out to be an intern, I'll never succeed.
I didn't know what to say to my client.
Okay, well, let me ask you. I'm going to just write a little thing here about positive and negatives. You're in the MSW program, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's successful in itself?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to write down MSW program. In order to get here, that means you had to go through high school, college, undergrad, right? Would you consider that a success? Can you tell me anything else that you've done that's been successful or that you consider?
Well, I mean, I got the internship.
Exactly, that's huge. So would you say that you'll never succeed? You've succeeded at all these things.
Well, I mean, when you write it out, I mean, I guess that is kind of a silly thought.
Okay, great. So there's no evidence to this. And just to let you know, I have some surveys here that before we leave that you can review, and it'll show you all these interns who were once in your shoes, who had the same thoughts, the same feeling, and now they're very successful. So if you just want to take a look at this and go through it and see.
How they felt in the beginning and then at the end.
Exactly. And now most of them are employed and doing very well.
That makes me feel better.
Okay, good. So what I'm going to do now is let's try to change this way of thinking. So the same event occurred. Let's try to challenge this. What's another way of looking at the same situation?
That I'm an intern.
Exactly. You're an intern. It's okay not to feel like you know everything.
Yeah, and it's okay.
I'm an intern and it's okay. Is that what you want to put down? This is your thought now.
Let's do, it's okay to not know what to say.
Great. It's okay to not know what to say. Okay, so when you tell yourself that it's okay What kind of emotion does that bring up?
It makes me feel more at ease.
At ease? Okay, anything else you want to add?
More confident.
More confident. Great. And when you feel more at ease and more confident, what type of behaviors do you display?
Then I'll start going to my internship.
You won't miss. So you'll just keep going. Start going. You won't miss. Okay. And when you go to your internship and you don't miss any days, what is the outcome of that? What kind of consequences does that bring?
I'll get to keep my internship.
Great. Get to keep. Okay. So if you will now, I want to go back to this thought, and if you just repeat it again out loud at least 3 times.
It's okay to not know what to say. It's okay to not know what to say. It's okay to not know what to say.
And how do you feel now with this route?
More relaxed.
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hey Stacy, welcome back. Nice to see you again.
I'm never going to find a job after my internship. I'm never going to find a job.
What makes you say that? What's going on this week?
I had more challenging clients, and when I participated in group, I was told that what I said, I should have said it a different way.
Okay, so you led a group and it didn't go so well, or what was the exact event?
I had more challenging clients,
Okay, so more challenging clients.
and I messed up when I talked in group.
Okay, so messed up in group. Okay, and when this event happened, what was your immediate thought?
But I'll never find a job after my internship.
I'll never find a job. Okay. And when you had this thought, what type of emotion did that bring up for you?
I almost cried. I got really, really upset.
Really sad, really upset. Anything else? Did you feel any anger or anything?
Yeah, at myself.
Angry at yourself? Okay, and when you're angry at yourself and really, really upset, what does that do to your behavior?
I want to quit.
You want to quit. Okay, and if you were to quit, what type of consequence would that bring for you?
I would be kicked out of the MSW program.
Kicked out of the entire program. Kicked out of MSW. Okay.
And I really want to find a job.
Let me ask you, if you had a friend that came up to you and said, hey, I facilitated group tonight, it went really, really bad, all my clients were so challenging, and I said something, and then my supervisor pulled me aside and said, hey, listen, you did okay, but you should have said it this way. Basically, the same event happened, and a friend came to you and said, I'm going to give up, I'll never find a job. What would you tell that person?
I would tell them that if you make a mistake, it's okay, because it's just a learning opportunity to do something different.
Okay, so does that show you that there is or there isn't evidence to this thought that you'll never find a job?
I mean, it shows that just because I make a mistake, it doesn't mean that I'll never find a job.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure I showed you last week surveys that I had from people that were having similar thoughts to you, and they're all employed and they're doing really well. You see this? Do you want to take a look at it?
It looks like most of them are employed.
Right. So what does that tell you?
That I have a possibility of getting a job after I graduate too.
Okay, so let's take the same event and let's change that thought. Let's challenge it. Is that what you want to put? That there's possibility or a chance?
That I will be able to find a job after I graduate.
Great. And when you think this way, what does that do to your emotions? Does it change it in any way?
I feel more calm,
Calm?
and less anxious,
Less anxious.
more in control.
Excellent. More in control. Does that give you any hope? Okay. And when you feel all these ways, calm, less anxious, more in control, hopeful, what does that do to your behavior?
Then I stay at my internship and I don't quit.
Okay, so you don't quit. And if you stay at your internship and you don't quit, what is the outcome? What consequences does that bring you?
I'll get my MSW.
Awesome. So you'll graduate, you'll get an MSW degree. So again, would you choose this way or this way?
The second way.
Great. So again, if you will, I want you to repeat this thought for me at least 3 times.
I will be able to find a job. I will be able to find a job. I will be able to find a job.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Hey Stacy, welcome back. How are you?
I'm okay.
Well, if you recall, in our last 3 sessions, we did the life problem solver skill. And when I was reviewing your file, I had noticed there's a pattern in the thoughts that you were having. And I have a feeling that this may be stemming from somewhere. So I want to do a technique with you. It's called the vertical arrow downward, the vertical arrow technique, excuse me. So you had said that your first thought was, other interns know so much more than me. So I just want to ask, if this were true, what would it mean and why would that be so upsetting?
Well, if other interns were better than me, it means that I'm not going to succeed in my internship.
Okay, and if you failed, why would that be so upsetting?
Because then I'll never be able to find a job when I graduate.
And if you never were to find a job, and if you were a failure, and if people thought less of you, why is that so upsetting? Like, where is this coming from?
Because then it means I'm inadequate.
You're inadequate? Will you tell me a little bit about your childhood? Is there anything that happened or that used to occur on a regular basis that ever made you feel this way, that you're inadequate? Because what I'm getting at, that inadequacy is basically like the root of these thoughts that you're having. I call it a core belief.
Well, I guess when I was growing up, when I would tell my mom that I wanted to be, a doctor or whatever, I decided I wanted to be, she would always tell me to be realistic.
Okay. So do you think that maybe that's the relation? Because I just want to make you aware, you do see the pattern in these thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, one event happens, you immediately go down this route, and if you notice, every thought is producing the same exact emotion, the same exact behavior, and all negative consequences.
Yeah.
So you can see that relation.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, we really need to get, focus on that core belief of feeling inadequate, because you're not inadequate. We went through all these steps of doing the double standard method, the survey method. None of your thoughts showed evidence. So what does that tell you?
That maybe I'm not inadequate.
Exactly, you're not. So what I want to do is, if you can maybe role play, even if it's like telling you, we can do this by you looking at the wall, the chair. You can look at me and pretend that I'm your mom. And maybe even if it's something as simple as saying like, Mom, I'm not inadequate and I'm capable of being anything I want to be, or whatever works for you, because this has to be what's going to work for you now, okay? So just, even if you can do it, just say the same thing 3-way or whatever works.
So if you were my mom,
Yep.
and I said and I'm little, and I say, Mom, when I grow up, I think that I want to be a doctor.
Exactly.
And if you were my mom, then you would tell me.
Well, no, you're not going to, Stacy, you'll never be a doctor. Come on, be realistic.
And I would say, Mom, if I want to be a doctor, I just go to school and I can be a doctor because I'm smart.
And what makes you think you're going to really get accepted into school? Come on, Stacy, again, be realistic.
Because I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do my best. And I'll get accepted into school because I'm going to try hard.
Awesome. And how did that make you feel?
Good.
Good. Great. Okay, well, before we end today, I just want to ask you, what did you learn in today's session?